If you have a $100 bill, watch this now. Now don't get me wrong, $100 is a lot of money, but what if I told you the bills that you're gonna see in this video sold for a lot more money than just $100? Without any further ado, let's hop into this video. Up first, we have a 1996 $100 bill. This one got graded by PMG at a 65 EPQ. That means there's not a single fold on this banknote. Why do I say that? Because folding your bill will decrease the value, so do not fold it. Seems obvious, but you'd be surprised. The biggest value add on this $100 bill is the fact that there's a star at the end of the serial number. So to keep a long story short, when these bills are being printed, they are printed in large sheets. Now these sheets can sometimes have an error on it where a quality control manager will notice the error, destroy the sheet, produce a new sheet of bills with a star at the end of the serial number, signifying that it's a replacement note. They put the star there for bookkeeping purposes to make sure there's no fraud or any sort of theft happening at the BEP. All you gotta know here is that a star note on your $100 bill will almost always increase its value at least a little bit, because this $100 bill sold for $139. This $100 bill from 1999 sold for $228, and can you tell why? We'll be very quick here, but typically on the right hand side of 1999 $100 bills, there is a seal there, but the treasury seal on this $100 bill is completely missing. Even though this banknote graded at a 58 PPQ, which means there is a fold, it still sold for $228. So I want you to look in the back bottom right corner of this $100 bill. That is called the backplate number. It's an internal number for the Bureau of Engraving and Printing employees to see where this bill was located on a printing plate. Now sometimes there can be a big value add because of that backplate number. The actual number does not matter. However, if the size is much different than the one on the front, or if the backplate number is completely missing, that could mean it's something very rare. On these newer $100 bills, it typically never happens, but the biggest reason why this bill sold for $312 is because of that serial number. This is what we call a repeater serial number. One last thing I'll say, if you look at the top left, you'll see what's called a front plate number, and before that front plate number, you'll see a small FW. That FW stands for Fort Worth, Texas, where this bill was printed. If your banknote does not have FW on it like that, it means your banknote was produced at the Washington, D.C. facility, and there's only 2 places in the whole U.S. that prints paper money. Again, $312 for that example. $1,260 for this 1950 D $100 bill, graded by PMG at a 67 EPQ. Now sometimes the graders who are grading this paper money will put a positive comment. This note on the back says great embossing and great margins. So that means the centering of the margins is really nice, and the embossing of the serial numbers and seals are also very nice. All you gotta know is that if your 1950 $100 bill looks really nice and there's a star at the end of the serial number, that means your $100 bill can be very rare, because this one sold for $1,260. This is a genuine United States 1929 $100 bill. We call this a Federal Reserve banknote. As you can see on the left hand side, it says the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, New York. This is also a star note, and it got graded by PMG at a very fine 30. That's a low grade. This banknote was out in circulation, it was passing people's hands, it was being used as it was intended to be. If you have something like this and it's a star note, your bill is going to be worth a lot, because this one sold for $1,320. $7,200 for this 1928 $100 bill. So it's important to know that 1928 was the first year the US started producing these small size US paper money bills. The big indicator on this specific banknote is going to be the stars. So if you haven't noticed already, the stars are actually inverted. They're upside down. They should not look like this. If your stars on your 1928 $100 bill look like this, you're going to want to contact a rare paper money expert to help you evaluate the bill and get the most money for it if you're trying to sell it. Once again, $7,200. Very awesome. This is a genuine 1928 gold certificate. So back in the day, you could bring this $100 bill to a bank and get gold in return. These are very collectible, very rare. If you have them, especially if it's a star note, you're going to want to get a hold of someone that knows what they're doing, because this example, even in a low grade with stains, it still sold for $16,200. This is the same bill, but a better graded condition. It looks much cleaner, much more nicely presented overall. The coloration is really nice. The same banknote, better condition, sold for $24,000. If you have a rare $100 bill, make sure that you download the free Coin and Currency ebook down below, and we'll see you in the next video.